Most people have no idea that they've got all these underlying beliefs holding them back. They're only aware, somewhat, of their conscious thoughts, so they work on those and leave the real culprit beneath undisturbed. This is how we get trapped in our patterns, dating the same weirdos over and over, repeatedly working for people who treat us like poo, spending all our money the second we make it. The Little Prince and your unquestioned conscious beliefs are ruling the roost. It doesn't want to be dethroned. And your little prince will pitch a full-on temper tantrum if it looks like things are headed that way. Let's say you make the bold decision to quit your job as a kindergarten teacher and open up the daycare business of your dreams. You put very clear and no-nonsense financial goals firmly in place, set about securing a loan to rent a space, come up with a name like, perhaps, who cares? Daycare, and neatly get all your ducks in a row. Meanwhile, beneath the surface, if you believe that struggling is more noble than succeeding because that's what your parents taught you, and that everyone who loves you as you used to be will judge and abandon you when you're rich, your subconscious self might attempt to protect you by suddenly getting the flu, by picking fights with people who can help you, by inspiring you to procrastinate, make terrible investments, drink your face off the night before or morning of an important meeting, etc. When you change who you're being, you're basically killing off your old identity, which completely freaks your subconscious self out. Change hurls you into the unknown and puts you at risk for all sorts of loss, and, of course, all sorts of unthinkable awesomeness, which is why it brings your biggest fears to the surface. Your little prince is desperately trying to keep you in a safe, known space, otherwise known as your comfort zone. But if the truths you're running your life on no longer fit who you're becoming, it's like trying to squeeze into the snow pants you wore as a kid when you're 36 years old. Not so comfy after all. Yet we do it all the time because even though they cut off our circulation and hold us back from who we so desperately want to become, the puffy pants are familiar, cozy, and feel safer than trying on an outfit we've never worn before. We are so attached to the unhelpful familiar, in fact, that we will spend our valuable, very finite time here on Earth crafting excuses to keep ourselves right where we are, instead of leaping into the glorious unknown and growing into who we're really meant to be. The walls of your comfort zone are lovingly decorated with your lifelong collection of favorite excuses. Love your little prince for being a great pal by trying to protect you, but it's time to step into your power, put on your grown-up crown, and take your kingdom back. Along with our overbearing little prince, the quest for earthly security holds people back from living the lives of their dreams more than almost anything else. And the ridiculous part is, it doesn't even exist. People will spend lifetimes slogging it out in secure jobs they hate, staying in relationships with people they don't like rather than risk being alone, never spending money on anything fun in order to save it for a rainy day. Meanwhile, we are flying through outer space in an infinite universe on a planet prone to earthquakes and plagues and ice ages. That secure job at that secure company could dry up. Some lunatic could run up and start beating you to death with a tree branch. Anything could happen at any time. Now, of course, focusing on this wouldn't be helpful in living a productive or happy life, because we'd be crouched under tables and clinging to buildings while trying to walk down the street. But I'm reminding you of it in hopes of liberating you from the pointless, oftentimes life-sucking trap of sacrificing living your dreams for false security. To free your heart up to follow your joy and ride the wave of awesomeness instead of limiting yourself and playing it safe. Trying to protect yourself from your fears protects you from experiencing a fully evolved and juicy life. I'm not talking about putting yourself in harm's way, poo-pooing safety precautions, or acting like an irresponsible maniac. Screw it, we're all going down anyway. Let's cash in the kids' college funds, buy a bunch of